Hey, welcome to a long overdue episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. This is a beer I got in a trade with Matt Stewart down in Florida, so thanks Matt for the beer. This is a collaboration between Coronado Brewing of California and Cigar City Brewing of Florida. This is the 𝗄𝗏𝗄 Baltic Porter. 8% ABV, if it would focus. Yep. Brewed and bottled by Coronado Brewing, California. I never had a Coronado beer before. I guess Matt must have got this. I don't know if they distribute it in Florida or if they just sell it at the brewery or what. On the cap on here, I've never seen one of these. It's pretty cool. It's like a chick. Alright, so on with the beer. This is a Baltic Porter, obviously. So, pretty dark color. Maybe a little bit of ruby red around the edges. The head did come up to here when I first poured it. Nice kind of dark tan, frothy, creamy texture. Yeah, it's got that classic Baltic Porter aroma. It's not like as intense and heavy and roasty as a stout. I mean, it has like that real lager. It has like almost like it's similar to like a milk stout. 8% is pretty big. It's not gigantic, but it's pretty hefty. So I was expecting something like along the lines of Imperial Stout, but it actually smells more like a really strong Schwarzbier. Hopefully it tastes that good. Let's give it a try. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I haven't had a Baltic Porter in a while. I think the last one I had was the 6.3 bean. This just, like I said with the aroma of milk stout, it definitely drinks. It drinks a lot like milk stout in all ways. It has like that. There's plenty. I didn't really smell the roasted malt, but I definitely tasted it. Kind of the stouty quality to it. Although it did have that kind of like Schwarzbier kind of lager quality right up front. The mouth feels a little thinner than your average stout, a little bit more carbonated. And you get that real nice, almost like dairy kind of flavor, sweetness, almost like milk stout. I wonder if there's lactose in here. Yeah, nice residual sweet flavor on the back end there. Yeah, it's a flavor. It's very similar to that kind of lactose flavor you get from a milk stout. The thing is, they don't say anything about what hops and malts and stuff are in here, so I can probably look it up, but it's kind of more fun going into it blind. Yeah, it's really solid, really good example of Baltic Porter. It doesn't seem like they've done anything like completely out of the ordinary. I know Cigar City tends to be very experimental. They tend to throw a lot of weird seasonings and spices and stuff in their beer. In Coronado, that's I think it's like Southern California, San Diego brewery. It's not a hop bomb either. Up front, it has like this nice kind of sweetness, almost like it's similar to like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, and it almost has like a little bit of like a chocolate flavor to it. You get that kind of the consistent roasted malt flavor. It's not too bitter, and then you get that real nice sweetness on the finish, like a little bit of like milk chocolate, some kind of like it's almost like sugary. Yeah, nice, really pleasant sweetness on the finish. Mouth feels a little thin. It's not, it's kind of crisp. It's not thick and coating like a stout. If I was drinking this blind, I probably could peg it as a lager. that 8% ABV is nowhere to be found. I mean, if I was drinking this blind, yeah, I'd probably think of it as a lager, but I'd probably peg it at like 5-6%. There's no way I would know this is 8. It was even refreshing for a moment there, right in the mouth. Finish is fairly clean, just a little bit of like a slightly bitter aftertaste. So anyways, let's rate this on Rate Beer. Aroma, smelled pretty good. Nothing too special, but really solid. I give it an 8 out of 10. Appearance, we are getting some nice lacing on there. It did have a big head when I first poured it. It's sticking around. That's what a Baltic Porter should look like. I give it a 4. I mean, if it had like a little bit more lacing, I give it a 5. Taste, I think it tastes great. Really delectable. Fairly complex palate. Nice balance of sweetness and kind of roasted malt bitterness. I give it a 9 out of 10 on taste. Palate, you know what? I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5 on palate. I think it's really smooth, really drinkable. That 8% is nowhere to be found. I'm gonna have no problem drinking this entire bottle by myself. In fact, I'm glad nobody else is here because I wouldn't want to share it. Yeah, so 5 out of 5 on palate. Overall, really impressed. Like, it's probably one of the best, like if we were up to BJCP specs, this would probably hit on every single point. Great example of the style. It's a hard style to find. I'll give it how about a 17 out of 20 overall. So that's a 4.3, which is a mid 9, close to it. I mean, it's definitely not, honestly, this is not a 10, but yeah, this is a really, really solid, really high 9. So yeah, there you go. Coronado Cigar City Jurata 2. I don't know. Baltic Porter. So thanks to Matt for the beer. Sorry I sat on it for so long. I think it was like a month, maybe 2 months. But I don't think the age did anything bad to it at all. I think it's held up perfectly fine. It's been in the fridge ever since. So thanks to you guys out there for watching, and we'll see you around. Cheers.